Good evening again. I'm doing this. I don't even want to be here. No one is gonna believe me. Like, oh, you're just a stupid, crazy person or whatever. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the facts? You know? But I'm here and I'm gonna do it, okay. So we're doing it. Um, she says okay. So yesterday, I wasn't too terribly sure exactly what the fuck actually happened in Iran the other day when supposedly they're rescuing the fighter jet pilots that crash landed or something like that, right? And they're like, we sent in so many airplanes because we're the greatest thing on the earth since like sliced fucking bread and shit. And then our guys, just for practice, they decided to burn down our own $100 million worth of airplanes for fuck it, so we could practice a double rescue mission, right? And then so they magically unicorned out of there or something. Don't know. That's what Trump's trying to say happened. And that's bullshit. All right. That is total bullshit. What really happened and what really nails it home. I mean, the pictures and the videos that have come out today really clarified everything. And the most important thing of all is the map. And you see, that's important because I was in the army. Hey, Blondie, I was in the army. And one of our jobs was to read maps a lot, right? So, hey, dude. So we had to read a lot of maps and they explain things, a lot of things, actually. So, anyways, I have to we have to flip the camera around. So let me flip the camera. I think, does this button do that? Oh wow, it's right there. Oh, they put a new feature. They they moved it to the front. I don't have to go through menus anymore to change cameras. Let's try this one. Yeah, I got I got the stuff and it sucks. Like, I put this map, it's like over on my Facebook, I believe. And other people are posting this map too. Oh, in fact, this map is like all over the Facebooks at least, and everybody's looking at this map. And anyway, so the whole point of this map is it's only 80 kilometers to Kuwait airspace from where the supposed F-15 crashed right here, right there. And the Trump story is that one of the pilot got rescued right here. Okay. Supposedly in the Trump Hegseth CENTCOM story of what happened is that do you hey, geez, get Pedro. I'm reading. Hey, we got Gladys. Yeah, and there's probably no Kroger's in Iran. So like supposedly the first pilot dude got picked up at in the site of the crash. Okay. And then the other pilot, the colonel, for some odd reason, he ejected before the pilot because the other dude was the weapons officer. So he ejected before the pilot or whatever. But for whatever reason, the second pilot, instead of making their way back to the scene of the crash where the other pilot is, they decided to walk 200 kilometers straight towards Isfahan up here. That's Isfahan, which is where Iran just coincidentally is storing a whole bunch of 60% enriched uranium, which can make a whole bunch of nuclear bombs. Okay. And so Trump sent in 2 C-130s with 100 people, with 4 special forces mini choppers, 2 Black Hawks, 1 air tanker refueler, and was also simultaneously launching cruise missiles. He sent all of that to set up. This is a abandoned airfield. This is an abandoned airfield, and Trump sent 100 special forces people in with 2 big ass jumbo cargo jets or planes. They weren't jets; they were planes with all kinds of other aircraft and choppers and drones and missiles and shit to set up a temporary base, air base, right there to supposedly search for the weapons officer that for some reason thought it was a cool idea to walk the opposite direction of safety. You know, Kuwait is safety, but no, the weapons officer went way up here, way just 200 fucking kilometers straight towards where Iran's near weapons grade uranium stockpiles are at. And then they just coincidentally set up all of the C-130s and the mini choppers for the special forces, a couple of Blackhawks, and all that shit is just set up as a temporary airbase right here. What do you know? Just a hop, skip, and a jump right over to Iran's nuclear supplies. You know, totally coincidental, right? Like it's a total coincidence that all that stuff was just right where all of Iran's nuclear enriched uranium is. Right? I believe the story. Do you believe the story? Yeah, he can't stop. Exactly. He can't stop stepping on the rakes. So I'm getting to that, Larry. The entire downed pilot narrative rescue operation was a complete bullshit story lie from the beginning. In fact, what was really happening is Trump sent 100, approximately 100 people, special forces and officers, the pilots and whatnot, and maybe some nuclear scientists, which that's also just the special forces dudes, because one of them has like a master's degree in goddamn chemistry or some shit. Anyways, they had the fighter jets. The F-15 was a part of the mission to do a land invasion of Iran to get the fucking nuclear material. Okay. And the F-15 was just the first airplane that got shot down in the failed fucking mission to go steal the uranium. Well, yeah, we think Iran said that the uranium was still buried under the rubble. Right. And they brought 2 C-130s. Those are cargo airplanes that can carry multiple dozens of tons of cargo each. So maybe they did bring excavating materials. I don't know. There's like seriously a road right from their mini airport airbase they set up. There's a road straight to the fucking paved road goes straight to the fucking science facility where all the uranium is buried. But yeah, maybe that's why they had 2 C-130s. Maybe they needed excavating equipment. It's a good question. But regardless, the F-15 got shot down. So then they had to rescue the pilots while still trying to do the mission of getting the uranium out of Iran. And so, yeah, construction helmets and orange cones, just like in Hollywood, man. Then so they had the 4 special forces choppers and the 2 Black Hawks. Those are big ass choppers, whatever. Y'all know what a Black Hawk is. And as like the other person was saying, Trump be stepping on rakes and shit everywhere, is the Iranians like knew all what America was doing. It's like in The Simpsons, I think, when they're like, it's a trap. No, that was, what was the it's a trap? That was Family Guy. My girlfriend's not listening. She's probably got her headphones in. But it's a trap. But it was better when Family Guy did it. As Family Guy did the Star Wars on It's a Trap. And like, you think Iran's military doesn't understand that there's a fucking unused runway right next to the fucking nuclear research facility where all their weapons grade uranium is being stored. Anyways, like they didn't see this coming, right? Totally. Totes. Anyways, they did see it coming. And the Iranians shot up all of the aircraft while they were in the air with the machine gun fire, like 50 caliber machine gun type of stuff, and grandpa's hunting rifles, and we'll probably some air defense manpad type thingies out there, probably somewhere, I would think. Anyways, they shot up all the motherfucking aircraft that Trump sent in there, like all of them, and they all they got shot up, so they were still able to land. And they landed at that abandoned airfield, at which point Iran called in indirect fire in the form of artillery strike, fucking maybe a short range ballistic missiles or something, and blew them all up. And they all died, like all 100 of them. That's probably what happened. Like Iran's posted at least the ID from one female major Air Force person. So that would have been a pilot of probably one of the C-130s or some shit, right? Most likely. Probably not the Black Hawk, probably the C-130. And there's pictures of the blown up Black Hawk. There's pictures of the blown up C-130. And that's why the pictures of the blown up C-130 is like a big evidence that everything Trump said was a big steaming pile of crap. Because the propeller blades on the C-130s, they're melted. And that's not what happens when a C-130 crash lands. Okay, so like if they're shot up in the air and they crash land somewhere, right? The propellers snap because like some of the nerdy people doing the technical analysis and the airplane nerds that know what all these things are made out of and shit like that were blabbering all over the internet today about it. And because the C-130 propeller blades are made out of like carbon fiber or some shit like that. And so when they have kinetic impact on them while they're running, they snap and shear off. They don't bend. And the propeller blades of the blown up C-130 shows that all the blades were melted, which means the blades were not damaged during landing and that the airplane sustained damage, causing massive fire after the airplane was already on the ground. Right. And the story that the C-130s got stuck is yes. The C-130s are made to land and take off on rough runways. It's the stupidest thing ever. I totally agree. C-130s are designed for this kind of using abandoned runways or open fields, probably. They're made for this. They're not like the F-16s, which need super smooth runways. The motherfucking, these cargo planes are made for this kind of work, that kind of terrain. So them talking about them getting stuck so they had to set them all on fire, that's a bullshit fucking story. These planes would not have gotten stuck on the runway. That's a bullshit story. So it's not true, which means they didn't have to be set on fire by the special forces. And here's the other question, like somebody else pointed out, is when they did the whole like capturing fucking Saddam Hussein thing, they had body cameras or helmet cams or some shit, and there was all kinds of video and picture in the media. Who made up these stories? Pete Hegseth or CENTCOM, people in CENTCOM made up. Yeah, all the propagandists. You pick, they probably made it up. It's your guess. It's all the shit CENTCOM and the Pentagon's been saying, right? Their story that's from CENTCOM and the Pentagon, our official government, that's saying that the special forces set the planes on fire on purpose. But and I don't. There's the other thing, to rescue. Well, the purpose is to distract from what really happened, and is that we lost 100 extremely highly educated and skilled American service members, pilots, and special forces teams on a covert mission in Iran that completely failed. And the purpose is to cover up that. So that's the purpose. Yeah. Pin it down into the potholes. Yes. Yeah, you might have a point there. Yes, I agree with that. And the other thing is very important here. The combat search and rescue operations wouldn't send 2 cargo planes with 100 fucking people and all of this other bullshit for a motherfucking search and rescue operation. It's not how things are done. It's not done like that. What you do is you get a couple of Blackhawks sent in really low and really fucking fast so they can retrieve the people. You don't need 2 C-130s to recover 2 fucking pilots. You don't need that. It would never be done like that. That's just not how life works. All right. And the funny part is, this is why from the very beginning, I'm like, this is some bullshit. I don't know. Like yesterday, I said, I don't know the truth because I didn't have enough information. So I waited, I read, I just waited to see what comes out. And holy shit, the truth eventually over time reveals itself. If you keep your eyes open and you don't fall for fake news, you got to be an extremely cynical person to find the truth. Maximum cynicism is the path to truth, actually. But yeah, so the TLDR is the fucking, it was a cover story, and the real mission was to go get the uranium. And the mission fucking failed. Iranians ambushed the Americans. It was a whole thing, was a setup. And they shot the shit out of our airplanes in the sky, and then they all landed, and then they got blown up by indirect fire while they were all on the ground, and everybody was dead and burnt up. And then our government is lying to us about what really happened because they're humiliated and they're making up fake ass fucking stories. And to cover up that we just lost like 100 people of like mostly special forces people, probably like a dozen, no, it would have over a dozen pilots. And that would make it like, 80 fucking special forces dudes with their 4 special forces choppers and the 2 Blackhawks and the 2. Yeah, it is a disaster. And like the other dude said, what the fuck were the C-130s hauling, I mean, if the uranium was buried from the last missile strikes, then They probably had explosives and engineering equipment and shit. They thought they could get to the fucking stuff. Yeah, he's also a convicted fraudster. This Trump guy, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna take 20 years before the official government admits what fucking happened, you know. Um, and just so you know, our Congress is they're starting to our Congress peoples and our senators, they're starting to suspect that somebody's fucking up. They're starting to get suspicious. Captain Obvious slapping him in the fucking face with the obvious fish they're finally starting to notice, like, oh, I'm getting hit in the face with a fish, like that. It's like a month and a half later. And so shit's going to be going down here in America. Oh, yeah. And Trump done fucked up and is attacking oil facilities and power plants and universities inside of Iran, which means Iran's going to retaliate here like really soon, like possibly now, tonight, tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. They might be holding back to see what goes down tomorrow with Trump's 8 p.m. deadline or some shit, right? Uh, yeah, Mr. Bain would be a much better president. I totally agree. But I mean, yeah, he's British, but that's better than Trump. You know, Trump. He's yeah, you know, he's probably not a complete raving psycho. Of course, that's debatable. Mr. Bean could be a stark raving psycho. He'd still be a better president than Trump. Yep, I agree with all that. But yeah, that's what I think really happened. There was no, just to clarify, there was no pilot rescue mission. I mean, that wasn't the first thing that happened. It was all a secret mission to get the uranium. And during the uranium mission, the F-15 got shot down with air defense missiles, which fucked up the whole mission. And they went and they set up their airfield, their forward airfield base to go do the uranium grabbing mission. And then some of their dudes were diverted to go try to recover the two pilots during the uranium mission. And at that time, all the other aircraft while it was on the ground got blown up and all of our people slaughtered. And the worst part about it as a soldier, just think about it. If you're in the military right now and you get killed in combat, your government's going to lie to the world and tell everybody that you're not really dead. All right? Let that sink in for all you active duty people. Hey, hi again, Arthur Black. I mean, think about how fucked up. I did 10 years in the Army. All right. But I don't think I ever went on a secret mission. No one told me I was going on a secret mission. So I assume I did not go on any goddamn secret missions when I was in the Army. But these dudes, they're like our dudes in Qatar and Saudi Arabia and fucking Kuwait and the UAE. Those dudes, they're not on any secret missions. They're living on base. Some of these bases, like the dudes had their families with them, like in Bahrain, I believe that was considered so safe that they let the Air Force people bring their wife and children over there. Right. Yeah, they will, dude. Tell my not exactly Arthur Black. Oh, I guess tell my name is not actually Arthur Black. Okay. It's not actually Arthur Black. Yeah, that's just the at symbol, the at handles, because YouTube's all glitched the fuck to hell and they don't show your actual username like they're supposed to. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The dudes that are still in the army, you know. Um I mean that I would quit. Yeah, probably a good move. But these dudes that are over there, their regular duty station, they're eating goddamn missiles every fucking day and drones. Like literally every single one of our bases in the Middle East right now, they're fucking eating missiles and drones every fucking day. Every fucking day. All right. And I was in Iraq and I experienced receiving indirect fire from enemy forces. All right. It's not exactly what I'd call fun. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun. And that was just piddly ass fucking man portable fucking mortar rounds. That's like the smallest of indirect weapons is mortar rounds. And that's what I was getting shot at with for a year in Iraq. Okay. And that wasn't fun. And that's like the smallest thing. Iran and the other what did the resistant axis forces in Iraq and shit like that, they're shooting big ass fucking drones with big ass exploding devices being delivered and missiles with huge ginormous fucking warheads on them that open up and scatter dozens of submunitions sometimes. And our dudes, Germany had the biggest barbecue in history. Yes, they did. When will all the end? I hope soon, but it's not going to end soon. It's going to get worse, you know. For so the specific answer to that question is it all ends when, as the Iranians have dictated, when America vacates all of its fucking bases and there's no more U.S. service members in the Middle East at all. And that's when it all ends. That's the Iran's demands for ending the war. Yeah. That's what people have been talking about. Like the whole world is supporting Iran, you know? Epic Fury. Operation Epstein Files. What do we call it? Operation Epstein Fury is what we've been calling it. But yeah, our dudes are being dishonored by this piece of shit in the White House and that cocaine junkie fucking scumbag Hegseth and everybody that's pushing their narrative of shit is a fucking scumbag who's shitting on our fucking military people that are getting their goddamn asses shot off right now. All right? Our dudes, see, I have no fucking hate towards my fellow fucking citizen soldiers, you know, that thought they were signing up to do the right fucking thing for their country and shit. I have no ill will against my own dudes. It's it's the fuckers in suits that have never faced a fucking goddamn danger in their entire fucking life that have our dudes getting their goddamn asses shot off literally every fucking day right now. For a month and a half, our 50,000 fucking troops in the Middle East have been eating missiles and drones literally every fucking day. All right. And our government and our media are fucking lying to our faces about it. And that's what gets me pissed off because our dudes, they're brainwashed and ignorant, just like everybody else here in America. And most of them signed up because they're poor and want to go to school and they wanted to support their families and have a better life for themselves so they didn't die in a ditch in a crack house like their parents and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're not qualified. It's not, it's like really worse than that. Okay, well, they absolutely are not qualified, but they're not only not qualified, they're complete morons and scumbags. To besides just being not qualified, it's so frustrating. It is, but okay, I'm almost done. I had one more thing. I think that's a wrong stereotype. Which stereotype? Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. You know. So today, after all this fucking failed ass uranium air mission failed and shit, yeah. Oh no, I'm the stereotype. I grew up in trailer park, so I am the stereotype. And my stepdad was a total tweaker. So I'm like nailing all the stereotypes. I'm white, so it doesn't show, besides being white. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Religion, political structure. Yeah. But yeah, after just today, this morning, our time this morning, while the whole world was still scratching their head going, what the fuck just happened? Fucking Trump tried to send in the Marine amphibious landing forces, that 25,000 Marines with the big ass landing ship. It looks like an aircraft carrier, except it's not an aircraft carrier. It's an amphibious landing vessel. I guess I don't know if that one's. It's a landing craft and it has a lot of choppers. It's like a chopper carrier, not an aircraft carrier, right? Regardless, it has 2,500 actual combat arms Marines it carries. Um, and he tried to send that grouping of ships through the Strait of Hormuz this morning, and Iran unloaded an ass ton of missiles on giant hovercraft. Okay, so then it could do landing shit. But he sent them to run the blockade in the Hormuz Strait. So our fucking Marines and sailors are like, there, yes, sir. And they tried to run this fucking gauntlet through the Strait of Hormuz. No, it's not an airboat. It's a chopper carrier. It's to carry, and they launch a bunch of they probably have all those boat things that it carries a bunch of boats and helicopters to do beach landings. Um, you know, and they got shot up with a shit ton of missiles. Um, Nothing sank that we know of, at least not yet. The Iranians said that they turned around and ran away. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. They were not a threat. They are now because Trump made them a threat. They were the quiet kid at the back of the bus or the back of the classroom, minding their own fucking business, saying, "Hey, stop stealing my lunch money." And for 47 fucking years or 43 years, I don't know, 40 some odd years, America's been stealing Iran's lunch money. And then they just got tired of everybody stealing their lunch money. And then now they're pissed off, you know? And as they said, they like Trump started the war, but only Iran can end the war. Iran decides when the war ends, not Trump, not Israel. Iran decides when the war ends because they're winning and they have military objectives. Oh gosh, let's not even get into Ukraine today. We can do Ukraine another day. Nobody's going to like what I have to say about Ukraine either. Like, You know, no one's going to like what I have to say about Ukraine. It's going to be way worse than Iraq. This is way worse than Iraq. We've already exceeded Vietnam levels of fucked up. It's like we're so far beyond the Iraq. It's not going to be like, we're so far beyond that. Next time I'm going to go do some drugs or whatever the fuck, right? And get a shower and try on my new underwear. And maybe we'll talk about something else next time, okay? And Iran, somebody. Yeah, you totally end up a list if you try to send money to Iran. You would actually get arrested by the goddamn Secret Service and the like FBI, and you'd be charged with serious felonies. So you don't want to do that. Not through PayPal. You'd have to use some weird crypto using a VPN. And even then, it's really iffy.
Really help Iran. If PayPal have money to us.
Yes, if you give me the money. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, there's like shit going down in the world, and we're gonna have to talk about how all of this is going to affect all of us here at home. All right, because for our entire lives, if you're like old man age like I am in my 50s and shit, like our entire lives from the time we were born to now, no matter how bad the world was overseas, like there was no wars here in America. And there's like the bad shit never came back onto us. Those days are gone, totes out here. So I want to get talking about that stuff. And I'm sure Trump's going to have some more bad. He's going to get his ass kicked some more tomorrow with this whole fucking deadline thing. Who knows what kind of stupid shit he's going to do next? But we're going to find out tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, apparently. Is it Eastern Standard Time? Eastern Date Time? Okay. So EDT? Whatever. Thanks for hanging out, dudes. Hang in there. And as the Russians like to say 4 years ago when their whole little war started off, it's time to get physical.
Stock up on toilet paper.
And get toilet paper. Good night.